Hello everybody, I have another unboxing to do. Comes with Power Rangers comic as well. Because I went to the comic shop. I recently went to an arcade with some people and I got some little duckies, which I thought were fun, so I figured I would show them off as well. I got a pig and a doggy one and then a fox one. And they squeak. They are fun. Had a friend's birthday, so I was out of town this weekend. The weather wasn't spectacular, so it was kind of scary driving on the highway. With that said, let's get into the unboxings. So, I got a white Kyurem set here. Comes with a big giant Kyurem card. And some Dragon Majesty cards. Plus the Kyurem Dragon Majesty promos. So, the white Kyurem has the GX move Dragon Nova. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned and paralyzed because they don't have the frozen status, because paralyzed basically would function the same way in the card games. So it looks like this. It's a pretty skronk ability. You'd probably have to pick the right context to use it in, though. Oh hey, they put them in here the good way. Okay, so to Pokemon Company, this is the way to do it. Putting these little shells over them so it doesn't bend up the cards when you're trying to take them out. So here's the regular sized one. Why hello there, Grandpa. And here is the regular one. Attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon as well, so that's pretty cool. That is the Kyurem that goes with the Dragon Majesty set here. And then we also have 5 Dragon Majesty packs, and of course the Kyurem code card, as well as a white Kyurem coin. There we go. Now you can see it pretty well. So let's see what are in these packs here. Yeah, I don't know what the dogs are losing their minds about. Get the code card for the pack, the Packy Pack. And on these, I'm just going to open all 5 packs and then go through them. Which I have a different technique for those when I do it that way, where I put the energies in the front, all the specials in the back. There are still definitely cards from this set that I am trying to get, so I am hopeful, though never expectant. Code card 3. Got energy, middle stuff, foils. In case you're wondering, I might get glances, but I don't really gather what I'm picking up of the foils when I have to sort them this way. So don't worry, it's still a little bit of a surprise to me. So you got your code card, you got energy, middle, foils, plus the one I'm usually seeing is the reverse foil, and the reverse foil is often probably not super remarkable. I mean, I guess if I get a rare, then maybe it would be good, but it's not like it's super astounding. Code card. This, these boys here, and this. Alright, so for our first round here, we have a darkness energy, a psychic energy, a fire energy, a psychic energy again, and a steel energy. Got Quagsire, Heatmore, Dragon Talon, Combuskin, Turtonator. Ah, there were two there. What are you? Swablu, Salandit, Litten, Dratini, Darmaka, Wella, Volcano Park, Corsola, Kangaskhan, Horsey, Bagon, Akamoo, Switchraft, Shelgon, Fione, Seadra, Combuskin, Salazzle, Corsola, Darmaka, Feebas, Akamoo, Wishiwashi, Torchic, Charmander. That's a really cute Charmander card. I love that Charmander card. My stack's getting a lot of control here. Dratini, Trapinch, Dratini, different Dratini, Druddigon, Darmanitan, Seadra, and apparently also Whooper, Horsey, Trapinch, Swables, Salandit, a Darkness Energy foil, the Terrible Gyarados card, a Psychic Energy foil. These are good reverse foils. Charizard, Shelgon, Reshiram GX. Let's see if we can. There you go. A Whooper, a Kingdra GX. I don't know if I have the full art. Kingdra GX, a Kangaskhan. Ooh, I got all three. Well, I got both Kingdra GXs there, and I got three GXs from a 5-pack box. That's pretty good stack I got there. I am thrilled. That is cool. Next, I got the third of the ones that were available to me of the tiny arcade cabinets. So I now have the Mrs. Pac-Man, the Pac-Man, and the Frogger. I might use them in photography. I also got tiny Lincoln Logs. It comes with 2 frames for a roof, a smokestack, 2 shingle segments for roofs, 2 corner pieces to hold them on, 2 flat, 24 small, 12 medium, and 2 large of the little Lincoln Logs. So that could be fun. I will definitely enjoy getting to goof around with that at some point. And again, they'll be fun for photography. And then this one, Tiny Tinker Toys. This one comes with, I guess it shows what it is, how many of each one at the top, because they all have different numbers up there. So at some point I will try and goof around with this. This one, while I think it will be cool, makes me super nervous because I have a feeling that the sticks are very, very thin, and I really don't want to break them. That would make me sad. And then we have a Lost Thunder Elite Trainer box, as it is by far the largest of the sets that I am currently dealing with. And this one is less expensive than another Dragon Majesty. Come on now. I don't know where my knife went, so I'm having to do this with not my standard tools. So I'll do the same thing with this. With the Lost Thunder, I will do the open all the packs first. Here's your info booklet and the cover. This one has a lot of neat cards in it. It's just, it also has just a lot of cards, like a very, very lot of cards. Alright, so code card for the box. Here's all of these guys. Your pack of energy, more sleeves, dice, your playing devices, and then let's start opening packs and stacking them all together so we can get a better glance of what exactly we have going on here. So, I'm not even going to show the code cards anymore. You know what they look like. I've had plenty during this particular video. So, put the foil face down and the energy face down, and these face up. So I can remember what order everything's in. So, energy, middle, that stuff. I feel like this will make for faster videos to do it this way as well, so that people don't feel like they have to sit here for 25 minutes, because those are some long unboxings that we've had so far. And I really don't want people to become bored. That's not the point of these. And so, did I accidentally put one of my code cards in this stack? Yes, I did. So, it has been a very, very busy week. My shoulders are very, very exhausted from moving much heavy stuff at work. It has been a lot of running around, some driving to places where I don't typically drive, including relying on a GPS because I had no idea where I was going for part of it. Mostly though, it's been a lot of work. It has been a pretty eventful month thus far, with lots of trying to plan and things falling through. I had 2 days where I was going to do streams, and because of some unfortunate situations that ended up not panning out, and so I'm down a couple of sets of videos from what I would have liked to have had. We are plenty padded on videos though. We have enough to go into January, so it's not like I'm worried about that for the channel. It's just I like getting to do it. Streaming is definitely, I really enjoy doing it, even if we don't always have a viewership on any particular stream or any particular video. I really do enjoy doing it. I think it's a lot of fun. It is a chance to enjoy video games. It is a chance to enjoy getting to hang out with friends, and I get to share some of the goofy experiences of us dorking around that you don't see otherwise. And if there's one thing that we do, we definitely are dorks. So I'll divide this into 3 stacks so that way I don't drop a bunch of cards, and then they will go straight into the box. So, energies first: psychic, electric, dark, water, fairy, steel, fighting, and then after all the energies, which will make it so I don't have to worry about anything getting scratched, because they will be energy cards in the front. Hey, come back here, code card. So now we got Peaky Peck, Bruxish. These dice are gonna have to move. Bruxish, Dedenne, adorable Cyndaquil, who I don't have a shiny of, and it makes me sad. Wurmple, Skiploom, Grovyle, in Go. I'm talking about Pokemon Go here. Oh, thank you for the warning there. I almost put a code card on screen. Brion, Litleo, Yamask, Skiddo, Chansey, Snubble, who I also don't have a shiny of, but it's less likely that I was going to, Electabuzz, Spelltag, and Cascoon. So that is the first little stack there. We've got, oh, maybe I'll do more than 3. Trico, Peck, Scyther, Stunfisk, Chikorita, Ariados, Fairy Charm, Professor Elm's Lecture. Look at the happy little Cyndaquil up on the side. Whitney, Flaffy, Kahili, Alolan Diglett, Trico, Chansey, Pachirisu. It's a toy out in the forest. Poplio, Ether Foundation Employee, Kirlia, Mantine. I don't know why I'm announcing it like a mid-90s Saturday Night Live episode, but that's what it is. Onyx, Spinnerack, that's a good drawing, I like that one. Poplio, Morello, Netball, Chansey, Kecleon, Unit Color 3. As long as this Pokemon has a unit energy attached to it, it is a fighting, psychic, and fairy type Pokemon if it has that particular unit energy. That's interesting. Sights here. Larvitar, Litwick, Chikorita, Natu, and we're sticking. Houndour, Juggy. I don't have a shiny of any of the dogs. Makes me sad. Except Eevee, Chikorita, Pachirisu, Hoppip, Carbink. Man, why are these sticking so bad? Blitzel, Carbink, Shiinotic, Kecleon Unit Color 1. So there must be 3 different Kecleons in this one. This one is if it's Grass, Fire, Water. It can be Grass, Fire, and Water type. Spelltag, Cascoon, Weight and Sea Hammer. Wow, that is the least reliable card you could have in your deck. It's almost guaranteed to be a discard. Use this card only if you go second and only on your first turn. And then you can discard 1 energy from your opponent's Pokemon. Which, I mean, yes, that is a useful thing to be able to immediately discard the first energy from your opponent. However, that's a very, very specific context to be able to do that. And to finish off here, we got Phanpy, Wurmple, Marini, Yamask, Stunfisk, and then into the foils we have Ninjask, a regular Shuckle GX, which I only have the full art of, so I will be adding that to my set. We have Slowking, which is probably a rare foil. So yeah, rare reverse foil. Umbreon, not a foil, but it is an Umbreon nonetheless. Espeon reverse foil there. Blissey, it is a foil. What's its ability? Happiness Supplement. Once during your turn, you may remove a special condition from your active Pokemon. That's kind of a useful thing to have at all times. Wobbuffet. It is not a foil, does not appear. Shady Tail. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, Prism Star Pokemon in play can't attack and have no abilities. Life Force, Prism Star. I cannot read it with that glare on it. Once during each player's turn, that player may heal 60 damage and remove all special conditions from one of their grass Pokemon. Whenever any player plays an item or supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card to this stadium card. Wurmple. So it can't be affected by field blowers. It can only be taken out by other stadiums, I believe. Pyroar. Chansey, reverse foil. Healing pirouette and sympathetic slap. Which basically means you can only do damage the first time it takes damage on one. A Dialga again. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolved Pokemon, you can devolve it by putting the highest stage card back in your opponent's hand and discard an energy from this Pokemon to do 130 damage. You got Peaky Peck. Oh hey, look, a full art Mimikyu. What's its GX? Dream Fear GX. Choose one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Your opponent shuffles that Pokemon and all cards attached to it back into their deck. Let's Snuggle and Fall. What? This attack does 30 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon, and then Perplex. It gives them confusion. So that's a pretty decent GX card. And it's a full art, which is also nice. Blitzel. And finally, Unknown. This one is missing. Once during your turn before your attack, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent has 12 or more supporter cards in the Lost Zone. You may use this ability to win the game. So, the unknown ones you automatically can win under exceptionally specific and very unlikely conditions. So I don't really know what I think of it. Because like 12 items, specifically trainer cards in the Lost Zone, means that you have to manipulate that into happening. And the Lost Zone isn't something that you get to put things in very frequently. There are a few cards that do it. Most trainer cards won't do that to themselves, so you're not going to be able to do that consistently by relying on that. So you're going to have some sort of Pokemon in your hand that's going to be able to put things into the Lost Zone. So I don't know if that one's very reliable. There's one where it's like it needs like 30 cards discarded or 56 cards or something crazy that we've already looked at. I want to say it was, 56, a very specific number, like almost at the end of the game anyway. And then you win the game. And so, I mean, I guess it can be used as a get out of jail free if you're already about to lose and have a way to make that happen. But for the most part, I don't see them as exceptionally reliable. The unknown cards, I mean, Unknown's never been known for being a particularly top-notch Pokemon. You don't keep them in your party when you're playing the games because they only have one attack, for example. They're mostly a gimmick to collect, which seems to be a thing with almost every one of the interesting gimmicks that there are for Pokemon. Usually if it has some unique gimmick with, like, maybe the exception of Eevee, who still has some merit to use throughout a lot of the game, most gimmick-type Pokemon aren't even particularly good. So if you have, like, Spinda, who has a bunch of varying patterns, or Vivillon, who has locationally specific patterns, or Porygon, who has a couple of unique moves, or, who are some of the ones that we've already talked about before that had kind of cool things to them? Kecleon has a couple of unique things that only they can do. Smeargle. Ditto. Any of those that has some sort of... Now, you can use Ditto depending on your opponent's team, sometimes, I suppose. But for the most part, any of them that have some sort of specific gimmick that makes them interesting or appealing on a collecting... Oh, sorry for the earthquake. I'm trying to pull these code cards out of here. some sort of reason that curiosity might be an appeal. Whoa, sorry. They don't end up having particularly good stats, and so there's no real reason to want them other than that they're a novelty, which I really feel hurts some of those gimmicks, because they might be like, oh, that's really cool, but I'm never, ever, ever going to use it. And so I don't like that about Pokemon. That has kind of bothered me for a while. Eevee being kind of the lone exception, that it can evolve into multiple different Pokemon under different circumstances, which there are others that have done that, but not in the extreme that Eevee has. But several of Eevee's evolutions are competitively decent for a little while. But most of the ones with some sort of interesting quirk, even for like your single player party, aren't necessarily something you're going to leave on the team, because of the fact that they're just not statted to be particularly useful. And I think that's a huge missed opportunity. It could add, because like, imagine if Smeargle were competitive and could do what it did. That could lead to having a lot of strategy in putting out a Pokemon and having people not be able to predict exactly what it's going to be able to do. Because if you put it in and it had, say, one variant has like whatever, Draco Meteor or something, some super, super strong move. Or it could have, and you have them all statted to resist Dragon, and then it ends up being, say, that it knows Thunderbolt and Fire Blast. You can't prepare yourself for everything if you have a Pokemon like that. Even Mew. Mew's not a terrible Pokemon to have on the team, although it's hard to have a legitimate one, so you can't usually use it in competitive. It's not terribly statted, but for the fact that it can learn a huge variety of moves, and again, make it so it would be less predictable to have, and in that way more reliable on your own team, there are definitely much stronger Pokemon to have. I mean, it basically comes down to having Rayquaza, which that's been barred, but like, it's always going to be your like Stealth Rock and Mewtwo teams kind of thing. Something where you have something that you know is a very, very, very strong type, and you might as well have it, and having specific moves that every single battle comes down to the same thing. And I feel like the unpredictability could really add to the idea of the competition, and it just doesn't do it. So that is what I feel is a huge missed opportunity on behalf, or yeah, Deerling, that's another one. The 4 seasonal variants, or Furfrou, who has the different styles. They're all, I mean, I'm disappointed. It's the one thing that disappoints me about the games, is having the interesting gimmick Pokemon all be competitively not very great. So that's my input here at the end. This video's gone on longer than I wanted it to again, because I should have probably opened the packs in advance and just had the stacks ready to go. But that said, thank you guys for watching. Have a good day, night, afternoon, morning, whatever is where you are. I hope to see you again real soon, and take care.